The next few weeks bled together like rain running down a dirty window. Days turned into nights without warning. Peter's world shrank to the size of a one-room apartment and the few streets around it. He'd wake before sunrise, slip on a thrift store jacket, and walk to a tiny convenience store where he'd managed to get a part-time job stocking shelves. The manager never asked for references, just needed someone who'd show up. Peter always did. He worked silently, headphones in, eyes down. Every so often, a customer would pass close, enough that their perfume or cologne pulled some forgotten memory to the surface, a coffee, date with MJ, laughter in the school hallway with Ned, but the moment never stayed. The world had forgotten Peter Parker, and now he was learning what it felt like to forget himself. At night, he'd study alone. The GE books piled on his desk were worn and covered in pencil marks. He'd lost his school records when the spell rewrote reality, so the only path forward was to start again. That hurt. To know he'd built a life, fought beside the Avengers, traveled across space, and now had to prove he'd finished high school. But maybe that was the point. Aunt May had believed in doing the small good things, even when no one noticed. So he studied, page after page, formula after formula, until the lines blurred and the words melted into static. Sometimes, when sleep refused to come, he'd sit on the fire escape and listen to the city breathe. The sound of traffic, the distant wail of a siren, the wind brushing against steel. It was like a heartbeat, New York's heartbeat. And for the first time in a long while, Peter stopped feeling sorry for himself. The city still needed Spider-Man. Still, the loneliness dug in deep. There were mornings he'd see couples walking together and instinctively reach for his phone. Then remember there were no contacts in it. There were nights he'd dream about MJ and wake up calling her name, only to hear the echo bounce off empty walls. One rainy evening, Peter stopped by a laundromat after work. He fed coins into the machine, watched his clothes tumble in circles, and realized how quiet it all was. An old man beside him glanced up. "Tough day?" he asked. Peter hesitated, then nodded. "Something like that. Keep your chin up, kid. City chews people up, but you keep moving, that's how you win." Peter smiled faintly. "Yeah," he said softly, "that's what someone used to tell me." When the cycle ended, he folded his clothes with mechanical precision. He didn't notice the small note that had fallen from his jacket pocket until he got home. It was Aunt May's handwriting, a grocery list she'd scribbled long ago. "Milk, eggs, and something sweet. We deserve it." He stared at the words for a long time, throat tight. Then, without thinking, he taped the note at his desk. That night, he went out again, not as Spider-Man, but as Peter Parker, the boy who still believed he could fix things one small step at